We are going to start with dead-end merchants. So do we all have our software open? I believe so. Then open up. We had created dead-end merchants. Yes? Or someone wants to ask something? So I believe we are all ready. Now, okay, let me also open my dead-end merchants. I believe you've seen this is the interface of Sage. It's a little bit different from the interface for QuickBooks. When you see at the top, you have menu items. Then the menu items also appear on the left-hand side. Now, in dealing with Sage, we shall be using the button called modules. When you look at your menu items at the top, your menu bar, there is this button called modules. So that is where we shall be obtaining or following. That's the button we shall be using to access items in our Sage document. So as usual, we'll start by entering customers. And of course, we already understand who are customers. So I'll just take you through the process of understanding how to enter customers. On the menu bar, you click on modules, and then you select customers. So then the merchant says the company has 4 credit buyers. So those 4 credit buyers are now our customers. Okay, you click on modules, and then you select customers. On the right-hand side, you will see what is referred to as the customer process. It shows you the interaction of different items which are under or accessible by customers. Now, if you want to add a new customer, on the left-hand side, you're seeing some menu items under tasks. So you click on new customer. Let's start there. New customer. Once you click on new customer, the customer window opens up. You click next. So with Sage, it opens one window after another, after another, after another. It's not like QuickBooks that gives you everything on one window. So under name, the first customer we are entering is Choices. Sorry, Florida Casino. So let's start by entering Florida Casino as the name. Then you click next. The next window is capturing customer information, which include the address details. So you have a street, town, postal code, telephone, fax, and the rest. So here we can change the country to Kenya. Then next, contact information, website, email.
Is there a problem?
Sorry about that. Let's just proceed from where we were. Hope you can see my screen. So we were entering customer information. We are at additional information which include contact details. So as I said, if you have the details, you keep them in. If you don't have, you just leave them. Then you click next. Entering additional information. Credit limit. Credit limit simply means what is the maximum amount of money, products you can sell to this customer on credit. I believe we are familiar with the issue of like when you're borrowing a loan, your loan limit, the maximum amount you can borrow as loan. It's the same thing here. The maximum amount of worth of products you can buy on credit. So if you limit here, it simply means even if you're not in charge or in operations at that time, this client cannot be sold on credit beyond their credit limit. So you are trying to perform what called credit control in your business. We have discounts. If at all this customer usually receives or you issue discounts to this customer depending on different reasons. For example, they buy in bulk or they buy frequency, things like that. Then what else? We have a tax code. Now for tax code, you can either decide to either include a tax code or not to include one. So it depends. If this person will be taxed or not taxed when they buy from you, here is where you make that determination. So if you want they be taxed, you'll select the respective tax code. But if you don't want them to be taxed, you will select T0. So for now, let's just select T0. Then next. Additional information which include settlement days, settlement due days, and payment due days. Simply means if this client purchases on credit, how many days do they have before they pay for whatever they purchase on credit? Settlement discount is in a case where if this person pays on time, you can give them a discount, like an appreciation that you are honoring your credit obligations, so you receive a discount. Now, we have that button called terms agreed. So if you agree on the settlement due days and payment due days, as well as a discount, then you will check that box for terms agreed. But since for us, we have not agreed on any of the three terms, we'll leave it blank, click next. Account opened. When did you start trading with this customer? That is account open. Next credit review and last credit review. So next credit review is, remember, in the steps before, we have set the credit limit. We say this person can only buy up to a maximum of 10,000 on credit. So when will you review that next? Depending on their frequency of payment, the discipline of payment as agreed. So if they pay on time, you can decide you review after 5 months. You maybe increase, or if they are doing bad, then after 5 months, you'll do what? Reduce their limit. Then next, bank details. So you're capturing the bank details that the customer uses to pay you. If I told you're dealing with customers who pay you via bank, you capture their bank details on the customers' bank address details, as well as bank account details. If you click next, you'll see bank account details. Then next, entering your customer's opening balance. So if you can remember, we said opening balance is entered from using information from a trial balance. You've been trading with a customer. They owe you a balance. They owe you some money from one trading period to another. That balance is entered on this window. So you'll click on yes, and then it will give you a place where you enter the opening balance. So for now, for this customer, you don't have any opening balance, so you just leave it as blank. Then you click next, and you click finish. That is how to enter customer information. So I want you to follow the same steps. Enter the other three customer choices, Hard Rock, and New Visions in about 3 minutes. Then we proceed. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I believe we are through. Let's look at the second part of entering supplier information. So on the menu bar, you click on modules, then you select suppliers. Again, on the left-hand side where you have tasks menu, on the right-hand side, you can see the supplier process. So on the left side, click on new supplier. Again, we'll move from one window to another. So you click next. The name of the supplier, the first one is Munyovi International. You click next. Address details. So let's change the country to Kenya. Then next, contact information. You are familiar with this. Click next. The credit limit also, the same applies. How much you're trying to control also your own spending. So how much can you purchase from this specific supplier on credit? You're trying to perform expenditure control. Then do you ever receive any discounts from this supplier when you buy from them? Then tax code. Does this supplier charge you tax or not? So you have to select, let's change here to have T0 under tax code. Then next, settlement due days, payment due days, and settlement discount. The same applies as I explained for customers. How many days do you have? Pay up your supplier for the products you purchase from them on credit. And if you make your payments promptly, do you usually receive a discount from that supplier? Then next credit review, previous credit review. When will you review your credit terms with that supplier, whether increasing the limit or reducing the limit? Then next, bank details, the bank account details of the supplier. If at all you usually make your payment to your supplier through bank, that information is entered on the two windows, the bank address and bank account details windows. Then next, entering opening balance again. So if you have a balance you want to enter, you'll simply click on yes. But since for us we don't have any balance, we leave it as no. Click next, then you click finish. So I want to give you to take 5 minutes. You enter the remaining suppliers, and then we move on to entering products. Let's do that. believe we are done. Let's move on. So the next we are going to enter items. So to enter items, modules, select modules, then products, modules, then you select products. Then select new product. Select new product. Then click next. So description, the first product, Dozoi vodka. So that's what you write. Then next. Now location is used in a case where you have a different place, sorry, a big place. Let's say first floor, second floor, third floor. No, so you're specifying that this product is usually stored or placed in a third floor, or if it's on a shelf, on shelves, you say on shelf 10. That is location. Then category is used where we are entering products in a group. If you can remember from QuickBooks, there was that option of sub-item of group. So if you have a product being entered under a group, you'll use that option of category. If your product are packaged in terms of weight, you'll enter the weight measures under the box called weight. Then you click next. Sales price, which is the selling price. You know the selling price here is 450. Tax code, is this product taxed or not taxed when you sell it? So for now, let us say it's not taxed. So we select T0. Item type. Item type. We have three types. We have stock, non-stock, and service. If you can remember from QuickBooks, we had inventory part, non-inventory part, and service. So it's the same thing. Stock item is inventory part, non-stock, non-inventory, service is service. That's how it's supposed to be. So we are selecting stock item. Then select next. Supplier account is like preferred vendor. If you can remember from QuickBooks, preferred vendor. So the preferred vendor here is Bovin International. So you click on the drop down and you select your Bovin Int. You click OK. The order level, you can remember the order point in QuickBooks. So it's the same thing. The order point and the order level. The minimum stock you can have at a certain point in time. Then below it, we have the order quantity. The order quantity simply means when your product reaches the reorder level, how many more will you order again? That is the order quantity. Then cost price, which is the buying price, been told is 300. Then next. So this final window here is where now we enter the quantity on hand, where it says, do you wish to post an opening balance for your new product? So you'll click on yes, click yes, then click next. So in the quantity box, that's where you write the quantity on hand, which is 100. Then you include a cost price again, which is 300, so as to calculate the total net worth or total value of that product. Then you click next and you finish. And immediately you'll see in the window behind, your product has been posted there with the code, the description, the sales price, and the quantity in stock. So I want you to do the same for the other products, and then we start looking at the transactions. We look at the transactions. So enter the remaining products, then we look at transactions. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I believe we are so we can move on. Now, let's look at transactions. The first one is an invoice, 1110, the choices for the following items. So how do you handle invoicing in Sage? So you go to modules, then select invoicing, modules, then invoicing. Modules, then invoicing. So in the window that opens up at the top, click on new stroke edit, new stroke edit. A window will open up. This window is referred to as product invoice. So in that window, the first thing just below the date, we need to select the person who we are creating this invoice for. We've been told invoice number 1110 to choices. So you come to where it's written AC. AC is account. Then you select your choices. From that list, you'll get a warning that says terms have not been agreed with this account. What are these terms being talked about? Remember, there is somewhere when you are entering the customer information, there's a button I talked about, a button called terms agreed. And I said you can only click on that button if you have agreed on terms which include the settlement due days and the settlement discount. But since we did not agree on those two terms, that's why we are getting this warning. So it's fine. Just click OK. Then invoice number. You're seeing an invoice number box. So there's where you write your 1110 under invoice number. Then we come below to the worksheet. We select our products now. So in line 1, select your product. Quantity, you also select the quantity. So the first product is KWV. For me, I don't have it, but for you, I believe you do. So you select the product, you select the quantity. Price. You go to the second line, you select the next product. So let's select all the products which are listed there. Let us select all the products which are included in that invoice. I believe we have selected. Now here, at the bottom, we'll simply click on the button Save. Click on Save. The invoice will be saved. Then close. But we are not yet done. We are not yet done with this invoice. Now, unlike QuickBooks, With QuickBooks, the moment you save that invoice, it updates all the accounts. What do I mean when I say all accounts? It will update the accounts receivables on its own automatically. That is QuickBooks. Sage does not do that. Sage does not do that. Sage allows you to do it yourself manually. So how do you do it? You click on the invoice itself. You're seeing it. You click on the invoice. Then you're seeing on the menu at the top where you have new, stroke edit, recurring, print, update. Click on update. So when you click on update, it will update all your ledgers to update that you have an account receivable, that is someone who owes you money, to update that you sold, you made a sale to a certain customer. So here, when you get the window that says update ledgers, so you have print, you have preview, and you have file. You simply click on preview, and then you click OK. You click on preview, and you click OK. Your invoice will open up. You can be able to see that invoice has been created. But I don't want us to focus on the invoice. I want you to close that invoice, close the invoice that has opened, go back to your software. You will see that the invoice you just created, in the last column, it has been, the last column is what? Posted. That's been written as yes. That means you have updated your ledgers completely. So now you have an account receivable, and it shows that stock has reduced, sold something to someone. That is how to handle an invoice. So the first thing is you create the invoice and you save. The second thing is you come to the invoice, you select the invoice, and then you click on update, and you'll be good to go. So let's do the same for the other three invoices, 1111, 1112, and 1113. Then we move on to receipts. Let's do that. I believe we are through. So just confirm that all your invoices in the last column, there's it's written yes, the column for posted. Make sure it's written yes. If not, then you simply click on that invoice, then you click update. On the preview window, simply click OK, and your invoices will be updated. That is how to handle invoicing in Sage. Let's look at receipts. Unless there's a question. Now, with the receipts, we've been told receipt number 0001, Mr. Kamau, with those products. So with the receipts, you go to modules, then towards the bottom, you will see sales order processing. Sales order processing, towards the bottom. Select it. Sales order processing. At the top, you click on new stroke edit. New stroke edit. Again, under AC, we select the customer we are selling to. So we've been told Mr. Kamau, but remember Mr. Kamau is not in our list of suppliers, sorry, in our list of customers. So what do? You simply click new. You'll select new. A window will open up. So in the box written company name, you write Mr. Kamau. And you save. Sorry, and under AC, you also write the same, Mr. Kamau. Under AC, in the first box where you have new account, you write Mr. Kamau. Then you come again under company name, you write the name Mr. Kamau again. You can also choose to change the country from UK to Kenya. Then save.
Can you repeat that part?
So where we have a C, you'll select new. A new
From
window opens up. Sorry?
from sales order processing. You got lost a bit.
Okay. So I've said you go to modules, and then you select sales order processing. Modules, sales order processing. The product sales order window will open up. In that window, we have type, we have date, and then we have AC. And you said AC is simply the customer you're selling to. Like in Quickbooks, we are using customer stroke job. So here is where we are selecting the customer we are selling to. So when you click on the drop down, Mr. Kamau is not in your list of customers. So you click on new. Once you click on new, we have two options. We have AC and we have company name. So that's where you write Mr. Kamau in both boxes. In the first box, you write Mr. Kamau or AC. In the second box of company name, you have to write again Mr. Kamau. Then I've said you can even change the country from UK to Kenya. And then you click save. Once you do that, once you save, Mr. Kamau now is appearing in your list of customers. So you just select Mr. Kamau. Terms have not been agreed. It's fine. We understand that by now. Then we have order number on the right, just below the product sales order. We have order number. So we've been told the receipt number is 0001. Then we come to the worksheet. we select our products. So select your products, but don't click save. Don't click save. I'll tell you what to do. Do not click save. Just select your products and the quantities. Once you've selected your products, at the bottom of that window, you have this button called complete. So for this one, you're not going to save. You're going to click complete. For invoices, you click, sorry, for receipts, you click complete. For cash sales, you click on complete. Now, several windows will start opening up. So we'll go through them one by one. Once you click complete, a window to confirm that you want to make this order in full appears. So you click on yes. That's the first warning. Click on yes. Another window to confirm. You want to get invoice details, update stock, and record dispatch. So here you click yes again. Then the final one to do what? Either print now or print later appears. So we select print later because we don't have the facilities to print. So you select print later and you're good. So let's see how the order looks like. So click yes on there. Do you want to print this sales order? So you just click yes. And you'll now be able to see your sales order. Now, let's focus on the window behind. So just close the report browser. If you're getting a report browser, just close it. I want us to focus on the window in the back. The window called sales order processing. You realize the receipt you just created in the column called dispatch, it is written as complete. That means you have received the cash, you have updated your accounts, you have updated your inventory to show that some products have been removed from your stock and given to a certain supplier, sorry, a certain customer. That's why it's showing us complete. So to repeat, with our receipt, you don't click save. You click on what? You click on complete. You'll get some warnings to confirm. So on all the warnings, you simply click yes, yes, and then print later. So I want you to attempt the other two. That is 002 and 004. Then we move on. I believe we are through. That is how to handle receipts or cash sales in Sage. As we move on, we are being told about receiving payment. So we receive payment from sales made via invoices. We receive payment from sales made via invoices. So to receive payment, you go to modules, then customers, modules, then customers. On the left-hand side where we have tasks, you select receive payment. Select receive payments. A window will open up. Now the window that opens up is called customer receipt, and you have the details in which that funds will be recorded in. At the center, you have customer details. So here you specify who you're receiving funds from. We've been told choices is the first one. Choices. So you come to customer details and account. You select your choices from that list, and immediately the invoice that was created for choices will appear at the bottom. I hope you are together. Now, for us to select the amount of money that we are going to receive, because we are receiving the full amount, towards the bottom of that screen, you're seeing a button called Pay in Full. Just after we have saved, discard, and then you have Pay in Full. So you click on Pay in Full. The amount that you are receiving populates itself. Now, what if you did not want to receive the full amount? For example, there is one that is asking us to receive half. There is someone who made half payment. What do? You'll simply come to the column called receipt. I'm sure you can see it's highlighted in blue, the column called receipt, just before discount. Next to the amount you're seeing there, you're seeing something like a calculator, a tab like a calculator. When you click on that tab, a small calculator pops up. So you simply divide by 2. That is how to receive half. So you key in a forward slash, then you key in 2, and then you press enter in your keyboard. And now you are receiving half of the initial amount. That is how to receive half. But if you are receiving in full, you simply click on pay in full. And then you do what? Save. So you select pay in full, and then you save. So let's do the same for the other two. That is Florida Casino and Hard Rock. Florida Casino and Hard Rock. Let's do the same. I believe we are done. So let's finish by looking at bills, paying bills. Let's look at paying bills. So just like in QuickBooks, the first thing is you have to enter the bills into your system. Then number two, pay those bills. So first thing, enter the bills. Second thing, pay the bills. So for example, the first one is rent. Let's see how do you enter the bill for rent. So you go to modules, then select suppliers, modules, then select suppliers. So on the right hand side, you're seeing something like a flowchart. That flowchart, I want you to click on the icon called batch invoice. On the flowchart side, on the right hand side, click on the icon called batch invoice. Now, when a supplier brings you a requirement for you to pay, that requirement is simply an invoice. So you click on batch invoice, a window will appear. So in the first line, we are required to enter an account, the AC is account. So you click on the drop down, you'll see a list of your suppliers, but because rent we are paying to landlord, so you'll click on new. Then the same thing, if you remember how you are entering new persons. So under AC, you write landlord. Then you come under company, you also write landlord. Then you can change the country. Then finally, save. So now landlord is in your list of suppliers. You simply select them. You'll get a warning that terms are not agreed. That's fine. Now after date, we have ref, we have xref, and we have NC. NC is nominal code. NC is nominal code. So where you see 500, click there, a drop down will appear. A menu will appear. And we need to select the account in which we are recording rent. Just the same way we are doing in QuickBooks. You are selecting an account that corresponds to payment of rent. And that account was rent expenses. So here, I want you to scroll through and find an account that we can use to record rent. So scroll down and find an account where we can record rent. The account code is 7100 and the name is rent. So scroll down. The AC is 7100. The name is rent. So you select it. Then we come to the column for details. Details, we write, let's say, March rent. We write, for example, March rent. Like March rent. Then we come to the column for net. The column for net, that's where we write the amount. So the amount is 12,000. So in the column for net, we write 12,000. And at the column for TC, TC is tax code. You select T0. The TC is T0. So we selected the account, which is landlord, is a date. We selected the nominal code, which is simply the account. We've entered the details, which are March rent. We've entered the net amount. and we've removed the tax, so we are working at T0. So I want us to go to line 2, and enter the next bill. The next bill is electricity. So follow the same process. So under electricity, you create a new supplier. So I will just say, for example, KPLC, under AC, and under company name, again, KPLC. Then I save. I come here, I select KPLC. Terms have not been agreed, I close it. I come to NC, the nominal code. I look for an account that corresponds to payment of electricity. So scroll through, find an account that you can record electricity. The account is 7200, 7200, the electricity. Then we come to the details. We will say March electricity. The column for details, we select March electricity. The amount, the column for net, the amount is 1200. Then the tax code is T0 again. So I want you to do that for the remaining bills, and then we move on to now paying them. Let's record them, and then we shall click save. Just record all of them the same way. Go to line 3, record the next one that way. Once we are done, you'll simply click save, and then now we go to the process of paying that bill, those bills. I believe we are done. So let's save. Once you enter all your bills, simply save. Save and then close that window. So from the flowchart, we are having, you simply click on pay supplier. Let's click on pay supplier. Pay supplier. In the window that opens up, of course, you have a date. If this person is being paid using a check, you'll enter a check number there. Then the payee is the person who's receiving the payment. So let's start with landlord. So you come to the section where you have payee, you select landlord, and immediately you will see the bill you created for landlord. It's appearing there. So what do we do here? We simply click on pay in full, pay in full. Click on pay in full, and then you click save. Pay in full, and then click save. And that payment has been made. So let's do the same for the next bill, which is owed to Kenya Power. You come to payee section, you select the person receiving payment, then you click pay in full, then you click save. So let's do that for all the other remaining three bills: water, wages, and transport. I believe we are through with that. So far, we've covered our entire company file. The next company file we shall be dealing with in our next class, we'll start looking at Study Limited. In our next class, we shall start looking at Study Limited. However, go and refresh on what we've done today. I think I shared with you, no, I did not. I will share the QuickBooks guide today. The guide that looks similar to the one I shared on on QuickBooks. It's a Sage guide. I'll share it today so that you can also make use of the same. Any question? Any question, any comment? So if there's no further question or comment, then you do have yourselves a nice day. We'll see each other.